going on, guys? X Main goes ham. Bringing in a G53 weapon review. You know, playing the engineer kit. All I hear is, main, use M4A1 and MTAR, G36. And of course, everyone likes the ACRW.
There's one down there.
Well, not me.
Shit, I got
I
one.
like to use other weapons. It's getting killed by the M4A1. I hate getting killed by the M16, AEK. Those weapons everyone just uses. They're just not fun. It's not fun to use the same weapon over and over and over again. You got all these level 100 colonels who have 100 stars with M4A1 and ACRW. That's not fun. A good player should be able to use any other weapon.
There you go, arm.
Well, for that reason, I decided to start making these weapon reviews. I would sit here and talk about how the G53, you know, it has slow rate of fire and it just feels weak, but it really doesn't. I have the foregrip here. I have the heavy barrel. Of course, obviously, US Hollow. Anyone that plays with me knows I don't use Cobra Sight. I found it to be actually quite accurate. Now, people ask me why do I use the foregrip all the time, and it's one of
There's a
those
laser in front of
preferences.
you.
A lot of
Hollow.
people like to say the foregrip is makes your spread higher and you're less accurate and your bullets fire.
Go for it.
Whatever. For me, when I ever put the foregrip on, it makes my shots feel tighter now. You know, websites can tell you whatever they want, but I mean, just looking at these shots,
Ball's blind.
they're all
I
on
got him.
target.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people like to do these accuracy bursts, 4 shot bursts. If you
Shit.
notice, I actually
Long time.
I burst, but
I know.
more of a longer burst. It actually looks like I'm going full auto. The G53 actually allows you that. It shoots around 700 rounds a minute. Pretty slow by any standards. I mean,
Rush A, rush A,
G18 pistol can shoot twice as fast. But if you notice, they're all on target. Why do you need something that shoots so fast
Arm.
if you can get the same amount of efficiency with a lower
He's
firing
trying to back.
weapon? G53 has low recoil,
Roger
30 round
that.
magazine, 31. There you get the extra low.
Yeah, man.
It's actually a very good
I had to
weapon.
reset
I like it.
router
I've
to
been playing
factory
with it a
settings,
lot
but
over the
it's
last couple
ridiculous
of weeks.
because
I'm trying to convince myself not to be a tryhard for M4A1, obviously.
So I don't understand how my
I
router
actually
can
started
affect
falling in
that.
love with this guy. I know a lot of my peers don't seem to like it, just the slow fire rate, and the fire rate isn't everything.
Shit, get out
If
of
you're a
there.
really good player, you'd be able to amaze at how good this weapon can be. Now, granted, it's not very popular for a reason. It's one of the least used weapons. I would say it's probably the least used engineer weapon. Everything's just better. That's what they say. And I don't agree with that. I tend to do very well with this gun. I do get outshot from time to time by those AEKs, M16s, so there's nothing really you can do about that. I mean, everyone's going to use those guns, but, I mean, I caught myself in this game where I was pretty surprised at what I was doing.
Man, the fucking
Right here, I'm going to get this
3 in a row.
triple spray coming up pretty soon,
So I did a
and
G3
I'm
one
just
earlier,
firing away.
but
I don't
alright.
burst. It's just full auto. The low recoil just keeps your shots on target. Now, people ask, why don't you burst? Well, bursting, I found bursting actually increases recoil. Most guns have, you know, the first
Need
initial
ammo.
shot recoil, and some are higher than others. I can't really tell you what the one on G53 is, but why am I gonna burst with such a low recoil weapon? Just going full auto gives me that extra bullet that didn't fire that I will. But let's get here. It gets headshotted. But the 44 scoped, again, something people don't really use often. I like it. It's not good when you aim, but it's decent around hip firing. Here on crossing, you know, attacking, it's
I knew
you just gotta watch your back. You know, a lot of players just always like to, you know, look at the front, and that's how you get all these amazing back rages that end up on YouTube and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of spoiling that shit. I always pay attention to the minimap. The minimap's something that great players are able to be aware of. You gotta be able to call the Doritos. They're everywhere. You can see them right in front of me. Now, I also see those Doritos are coming up behind me. Gives me the hint that they're gonna come up behind us. Now, look at this. No one is looking behind us. If I don't actually do this right here, we just get raped.
People can say what
Just
you want,
raped.
man, but this G53 in close quarters is no joke.
Shot, you know, in the head, G3. You know what I mean? There's gonna be times where you're just gonna get so frustrated about the low fire
Dude, the
rate.
dude's
But
on B, he can't work.
I like the G53's low fire rate.
I'm down.
It
Fuck.
would. It's kind of a contradiction
How
saying
long
it's
can you
good
get
in close quarters, but I actually think it is. It's not bad. You can hit fire with it, and in some cases, I don't know how you win gunfights with low firing weapons in close quarters, but in these cases, I mean, I'm taking people out pretty quick. I mean, look at this. No, yeah, he was damaged, but still, you can still kill someone that has 100 health, just hit firing or ADS with the G53, and it's not really a problem. Now, right here is what I'm talking about. Just the ability to stay full auto. I'm not a big believer in burst weapons. Well, firing a full automatic weapon while bursting, micro burst, as Rival X Factor calls it, or actually X Factor now, no longer Rival. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a sprayer, but I believe that if you can get a lot of shots on target, you're not really spraying. I mean, that's the technical term for it because you are just unloading the clip, but if all your shots are hidden, that's not spraying. Spraying would be a term where you're just randomly firing and hoping to hit them. And see, that's not what this gun does. You know, with the low firing rate, you would think that, oh man, why would you just not burst? Well, again, the first initial shot recoil, look at that. I actually tried microburst in there, and the sideways, and if you're firing full auto, it doesn't do that.
No time, no time.
Also, you know, I mean, you have to counter, but I mean, it doesn't go sideways. I've noticed that bursting actually gives you a lot of horizontal recoil. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, I do have the foregrip, but I can still notice it. And look, fire full auto, and the recoil is just straight up. And it's manageable. It looks like I'm not even holding nothing. It looks like it's a laser beam. Now, of course, it is heavy barrel. I am going to get that extra accuracy. But every gun has recoil. Every gun has horizontal recoil. Every gun has vertical recoil. And if you look at these clips, it doesn't look like my gun goes anywhere.